Yahoo's Jerry Yang's departure from the company 17 years after he founded it, some are saying is actually clears the way for the sale of its assets abroad. Was he standing in the way, do you think?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Really?
So you have to remember, if you go back to 2008, when Microsoft tried to acquire Yahoo, they bid $33 a share. It was a deal worth like $47 billion. He stood up and said no. Basically persuaded the Yahoo board at the time to reject the deal as inadequate, which is remarkable given that the stock is now at less than half the price. It will go down as one of the dumbest corporate board decisions of all time.
Yeah.
And so he has a long history of standing in the way of any major transactions involving Yahoo. And then if you fast forward to what's been going on over the last few months, the Yahoo board has been going through a process of considering what to do with the company. Should they sell? Should they break it up? Should they go private? The scuttlebutt has been that Jerry, again, has been kind of obstructionist. He doesn't want to see the company he built over time into this major player in the Internet world. Doesn't want to see it broken up into pieces.
So do you think it's more of, some say, you know, maybe he really feels like he's doing the right thing, or do you think it's more that he just fears letting go? That he feels like a
I'm
failure
sure he
right
feels
now?
like he's doing the right thing, but I think the consensus is that he's been wrong about this for years, that he was wrong in 2008. I mean, clearly he made a decision that was not in the best interests of Yahoo shareholders at the time. And the consensus has been that he, again, has been reluctant to want to see this happen. Now, I will say that there are multiple potential interpretations of the news. So I'll offer three. One is that the Yahoo board is on its way to making a decision on what to do with the company. There has been a lot of speculation that the company will, as many investors would like, will sell off their Asian assets, which basically consist of large stakes in Alibaba and Yahoo Japan.
Right.
That they will sell the Alibaba stake back to Alibaba, that they will sell the Yahoo Japan stake to SoftBank, which is the other large holder for Yahoo Japan, which is also publicly traded, and that then they will take the remaining piece of the company and perhaps take it private with some private equity investors. Now, that's the speculation. There's been a lot of reporting about this. The transaction that they envision to sell the Asian assets would be extremely complicated to try and avoid tax liability. They would get paid mostly in cash, but partly in assets. Just what those assets are is unclear. So there's been all this speculation that Alibaba will go out and buy something so that they can give it to Yahoo as part of this transaction. Very complicated scenarios. We'll see how it plays out. But the bottom line is this: the theory would be the board is getting ready to do something along those lines, and Jerry's not happy. A second theory would be that Jerry himself, as a board member and officer of the company, is actually interested in trying to take the company private, in particular the core Yahoo operations, if you split off the Asian assets, that he himself would like to get involved in any transaction to take the company private. And that, as a member of the board, it's kind of a conflict of interest for him to be in that position. So that would be another potential theory. And the third theory is that the new CEO, Scott Thompson, who comes from PayPal, which is part of eBay, had as part of his deal to get Jerry out of the way. And that's not crazy. I mean, Jerry is, as the founder, on the board, was the CEO for a couple of years before Carol Bartz was CEO. Having him on the board with his reputation as being kind of obstructionist in terms of potential transactions for the company, that you might want him out of the way is not a big stretch. So I think there could be some truth in all of those things. It could be that there are multiple bidding parties for Yahoo, that one of them involves Jerry, and that Scott would like Jerry out of the way. I think what the behavior of the stock today on Wednesday
it's up 3%.
It's up 3%. It immediately spiked after hours last night when Yahoo made the announcement that Jerry was leaving. So the street's interpretation is, in fact, the odds of a transaction happening with Jerry out of the way just went up. And so I suspect, my bet would be that if you look out, say, 6 months from now, the situation will have become clarified, and that the current structure of Yahoo is doomed, and that the days of Yahoo in its current structure are certainly limited.
Are over.